The rain hammered down on the German training facility. In the center of the muddy combat ring, Major Astrid Lindholm of the Swedish Special Operations Group knelt in the dirt, her 6'1" frame folded over, shoulders shaking. Tears mixed with rain streaked down her face. Standing before her was Sergeant First Class Marcus Chen, U.S. Army Delta Force. His 5'8" frame showed no triumph, no gloating, just quiet professionalism and something that looked like sadness in his dark eyes. "I'm so sorry," Astrid whispered, her voice breaking. "My God, I'm so sorry." Around them, soldiers from 12 nations watched in absolute silence. The cocky Swedish major, who'd offered a very personal reward to the quiet American she'd mocked all week, she was destroyed. But how did we get here? It all started 7 days ago at NATO's Joint Tactical Excellence Program in Grafenwöhr, Germany. Grafenwöhr Training Area was hosting NATO's most intensive joint exercise. Over 200 special operations personnel from 15 countries had gathered for 3 weeks of competitive training. Sergeant First Class Marcus Chen, 29, Delta Force, kept to himself. At 5'8", with a slim build and youthful features, he'd learned long ago that people underestimated him. He preferred it that way. His teammates called him the Reaper, though no one here knew why. Major Astrid Lindholm, 31, Swedish SOG, was his opposite. At 6'1", with short blonde hair and ice blue eyes, she commanded attention. But Astrid had developed more than confidence. She had a mission to prove women's superiority in combat. She'd spent the week vocally outperforming male soldiers and making sure everyone noticed. The two first crossed paths at the mess hall on day 2. Astrid noticed Marcus immediately because he didn't stand out. "Look at that one," she said to her teammate, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Looks like they're recruiting from high schools now. Probably some support unit trying to play soldier." Marcus didn't react. He finished his meal and left quietly. Over the next few days, Astrid's comments escalated. During hand-to-hand drills, she made jokes about pretty American boys and Hollywood soldiers. When Marcus outpaced her unit on the 10-mile ruck march, she dismissed it. Carrying light loads isn't impressive. Her Swedish teammates grew uncomfortable, but Astrid was on a crusade. She'd spent years fighting for respect in male-dominated special operations. Now she wanted to prove a point about female superiority, and this quiet, small American seemed like the perfect target. By day 5, Astrid's mockery had become personal. During a close-quarters combat demonstration, she deliberately paired with Marcus. "Let's see what Delta Force teaches these days," she announced, circling him. "Or did they lower standards to meet diversity quotas?" The crowd went quiet. That crossed a line. Marcus stood calmly in the center of the mat, hands relaxed at his sides. "Are we training or talking, Major?" "Both," Astrid smirked. "I believe in honest assessment. You're what, 5'7", 5'8", maybe 160 pounds? In real combat, size and strength matter. I've proven that repeatedly." "Size matters less than people think," Marcus said quietly. "Really?" Astrid's eyes gleamed. "Then let's test that theory." The sparring session lasted 90 seconds. Astrid attacked aggressively with her Swedish military combatives training. Marcus moved like water, evading, redirecting, never countering. She couldn't land a clean hit. Her frustration grew with each miss. "Why won't you fight back?" she demanded. "Because we're training," Marcus replied calmly, "not fighting." Astrid stepped back, breathing hard. The quiet American hadn't broken a sweat. Something flickered in her eyes. Confusion, maybe the first hint of doubt, but pride quickly smothered it. "You're fast," she admitted grudgingly, "but speed only gets you so far." That evening at the mess hall, Astrid made her move. She'd been drinking, just enough to loosen her inhibitions, and the week of mockery had built to this moment. She walked to Marcus's table where he sat alone, reading a tactical manual. "Chen," she said loudly, making sure the room could hear, "I have a proposal." Marcus looked up, his expression neutral. "Tomorrow, we have the final combat assessment. You and me, full contact sparring, judged by the international cadre. And when I win, you publicly admit that women are superior soldiers. But if, and this is purely hypothetical, you somehow manage to beat me, she paused for effect, I'll give you something very special, something you'll never forget. Anything you want from me. Anything at all. The room erupted. Whistles, laughs, shocked murmurs. Marcus studied her for a long moment. And if I win, you'll do something for me too. Name it, Astrid said confidently. You'll apologize, publicly, to every American soldier here. Not for losing to me, for the disrespect you've shown all week. Astrid's smile faltered slightly. She expected him to take the bait differently. That's all you want? That's all. Deal. She extended her hand. Marcus shook it. His grip was firm, controlled. Tomorrow, 0800 hours. The next morning, the combat ring was packed. Word had spread. Soldiers from every nation gathered to watch the Swedish major humble the quiet American, or so they thought. Astrid entered the ring in combat fatigues, looking every bit the warrior. Marcus entered moments later, smaller, quieter, seemingly outmatched. The referee, a German KSK instructor, reviewed the rules. Full contact, but controlled. No strikes to disable or injure. First to submit or unable to continue loses. Understood? Both nodded. Begin. Astrid attacked immediately, using her height and reach advantage. Swedish SOG specialized in a hybrid system combining Krav Maga, boxing, and wrestling. She was technically excellent, but Marcus moved like smoke. Every strike she threw missed by inches. He didn't counterattack, just evaded, slipped, redirected. His footwork was flawless, his breathing controlled. Stop running, Astrid snapped, frustration creeping into her voice. I'm not running, Marcus replied calmly. I'm observing. She lunged with a combination, jab, cross, low kick. Marcus stepped inside her reach, redirecting her momentum. She stumbled, but recovered. The crowd murmured. This wasn't going as expected. 3 minutes in, Astrid was breathing hard. Marcus looked fresh. In Delta, we train against opponents much faster than you. Much stronger, too. Astrid's eyes widened. Was he toying with her? Now it's my turn, Marcus said. The change was instant. Marcus shifted from defense to offense, and it was like watching a different person. His strikes were surgical, precise, devastating, controlled. He blended Krav Maga, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and military combatives into something beautiful and terrifying. Within 45 seconds, Astrid was on the ground, not injured, but clearly defeated. His hand extended to help her up. She stared at it, stunned. An American instructor stepped forward. Major Lindholm, do you know who you just fought? Astrid shook her head, still on the ground. That's Sergeant First Class Marcus Chen. In 2019, he led the extraction of 18 hostages from a Taliban compound in Kandahar, alone. 73 enemy combatants. He eliminated 42 of them in 28 minutes to protect civilians. He's received 3 Silver Stars, 2 Bronze Stars with Valor, and the Distinguished Service Cross. The color drained from Astrid's face. A British SAS operator spoke up. Wait, you're the Reaper? The operator from the Mosul mission? A German KSK officer added, Holy shit, the Syria extraction operative? Marcus said nothing. The American instructor continued. He's a master instructor for Delta's Advanced Close Quarters Combat Program. He trains other Tier 1 operators. He's a legend in the Special Operations community. Astrid's hands trembled. I didn't know. No one does, Marcus said quietly. I don't advertise. Marcus looked directly at Astrid. Major, in 2017, a Swedish SOG team was ambushed in northern Syria. The team leader, Captain Astrid Lindholm, was pinned down with 3 wounded operators. No air support available. Enemy forces closing in. Astrid's eyes went wide. That's my father. I was running a parallel operation 2 clicks away. We heard the distress call. Command said it was too dangerous to divert. I disobeyed orders. Took my team through enemy territory. We reached your father's position with 90 seconds to spare. Tears started streaming down Astrid's face. Captain Lindholm took shrapnel to protect his team. I carried him 300 meters under fire while my team provided cover. We held that position for 40 minutes until extraction arrived. All 4 Swedish operators survived. You... Astrid's voice broke. You're the American my father talks about. The one who saved his life. He's tried to find you for years. He calls you his brother. He says you're the reason I still have a father. Marcus nodded slowly. Astrid collapsed to her knees, sobbing. What have I done? I've spent a week mocking the man who gave me my father back. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The rain began to fall. Marcus knelt beside her, rain mixing with her tears. Astrid, your father is one of the bravest men I've ever served with. That day in Syria, he told me, family is worth dying for. That's universal. It doesn't matter what flag you serve. He says that all the time, Astrid whispered. It's his favorite phrase. You're an excellent soldier, Marcus continued. Technically skilled, physically strong, mentally tough. But you let pride and ideology blind you. You wanted to prove women are superior. The truth is simpler. Good soldiers are good soldiers. Gender doesn't determine worth. Actions do. Astrid looked up at him, rain streaming down both their faces. I've been so arrogant, so focused on proving a point that I became everything I hate, someone who judges others by superficial traits. She stood, shaking, and turned to face the assembled crowd. I owe everyone here an apology, she said, her voice carrying across the silent training ground. Especially the American soldiers I've disrespected this week. I let my ego and my agenda turn me into a bully. I judged Sergeant Chen and others by size, appearance, and nationality instead of by character and capability. She turned to Marcus. You could have humiliated me. You could have hurt me in that ring. Instead, you showed restraint and dignity. You've taught me more in 15 minutes than I've learned in 15 years. Marcus stood. We all make mistakes, Major. What matters is learning from them. Real warriors protect others. They don't seek to dominate them. True strength isn't about proving you're better. It's about making everyone around you better. Astrid extended her hand. This time, it was a gesture of genuine respect. Marcus shook it. Over the remaining week of training, Astrid and Marcus became training partners. She set aside her ideology and learned from him. He shared techniques, philosophy, and the wisdom that came from years of quiet professionalism. On the final day, as soldiers prepared to return to their units, Astrid approached Marcus one last time. I spoke to my father last night, told him everything. He wants you to come to Sweden, says it's time you finally met the family you saved. Marcus smiled, a rare sight. I'd like that. Thank you, Astrid said, for the lesson, for the humility, for saving my father, for not destroying me when you could have. You destroyed yourself, Marcus said gently. I just gave you the opportunity to rebuild into something better. They shook hands one final time. As Marcus walked away, a German instructor approached Astrid. That's the difference between a good soldier and a great one. Great ones make everyone better. Astrid watched Marcus disappear into the crowd, a small, quiet man who'd proven that true power doesn't need to announce itself. She finally understood what her father had been trying to tell her all these years. Have you ever been underestimated because of your size, your appearance, your quiet nature? How did you prove them wrong? Or did you even need to? This is Marcus Chen's story, but it could be anyone's. We all have hidden depths. The most dangerous warriors are often the ones who don't need to prove it. If this story resonated with you, if it reminded you that real strength comes from character, not from bragging, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button if you believe actions speak louder than words. Welcome to Hidden Hearth, where we share stories about quiet strength over loud arrogance, humility over pride, and action over assumption.
Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss stories of underdogs, heroes, and warriors who prove that true power doesn't need to announce itself. Remember, judge others by their character, not their appearance. The most dangerous person in the room is often the one you underestimate. Until next time, stay humble, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next story.